Hello, Art and David. Here's the brake booster that David had been having trouble with, and I'm going to test it on my really cool vintage 1950s brake booster tester. And let me explain to you how this thing works. Alright, we've got vacuum. This is our vacuum. These are our vacuum gauges, and this gauge is going to go up and read vacuum, the amount that my vacuum pump will produce, and this gauge will remain inert, inoperative, because for some reason Mercedes in their infinite wisdom decided not to put a test port in that fitting at the top there. Ordinarily, what we have is a test port that you can take out, and you unscrew that, and we put in our vacuum hose here into that small test port, but they didn't do that. So this gauge, which ordinarily would show us how much the booster is being activated, that gauge will remain inert, unfortunately. Now then, the important part, on our hydraulic side, we have input, which is my master cylinder. That's what this is, the master cylinder for this unit, this handle. And what happens is these gauges work as a unit. As you can see, they're input. So this gauge goes up and maxes out, and then this gauge goes up and reads our final input pressure, and that's just a function of the master cylinder that's on the machine, nothing more. Now we have output. And this gauge will go up and read our output pressure until it maxes out at 350, and then this gauge will take over and read our maximum output pressure. And then we will hit it with vacuum. So first we're going to do hydraulic, with no boost, no vacuum. And you can see this is the vacuum line hooked up. Here's our input, and here's our output. And you can see on the left we've maxed out, and the other gauge is going up to its maximum pressure, which is an indication of my master cylinder. And over on the right we're reading maximum pressures, and since the booster is not doing anything, they should be very similar. So we've got 350 here, almost 350 here, and about almost 350 here. So that's what it's supposed to be, which is just boost. Hydraulic going in is simply bypassing internally and going out. Nothing's happening. The booster doesn't have any vacuum going to it. Nothing is happening. It's inert. Brake fluid just comes in here, goes out. And that's what we're reading. My master cylinder is a little on the gimpy side. Let's recycle and start all over. Alright, now we got some pressure building. And you can see we've got final pressure here, 350. Almost 350 here, almost a little over 300 here. And that's to be expected. That's within the variations of the gauge, the percentage of error. Now we're going to hit with vacuum. And what we're looking for is the boost on this, the boost ratio on this unit is either 3 or 4 to 1. We'll see. It's a very stout booster. It really puts out some pressure. So we're going to expect, we'll go up to 350 input, and then we're going to expect to see some pretty high pressures over here. And then what we'll do is check the booster for leakage while it's in use. So here's our vacuum, and the vacuum is building slowly. And the reason for that is I left the plastic plugs in here for the vacuum into the vacuum chamber. Ordinarily those have plugs in them. So we've got the vacuum. Now, see what we got here in the way of pressures. 350 max, and you can see we're up over 900, between, let's say, 900 to 1,000. Recycle it. Alright, 350. Okay, 350 here, 350 here, actually more than 350. And we're up over 900 to 1,000, 1,100. We can go a little bit higher. So, let's do it again. Okay, we got plenty of pressure. Now we're going to check our booster for leaks. And we have a leak coming out of this hole right here. There we go. Maybe you can see it there coming out of the hole. There we go. Coming out. Alright. Don't need to test anymore. That hole is your first line of defense, or your first indication that you have problems internally in the booster. And it's actually an O-ring deep inside, down inside here. It's an O-ring that is probably failed. So yes, this booster is defective.